A video was released online about a man wrestling an alligator on the side of a road. It ended pretty much like you'd expect it to. With something dumb like this being posted, I'm going to go over the 3 things he did wrong while trying to assert his dominance on a modern day dinosaur. Let's do a replay of the footage before I do my critiques in his form and skill. The man seems to have an orthodox stance and proceeds to throw a fake cross at the gator. He then uppercuts the alligator in the chin and pushes the gator's head into the concrete. Once he has done this, he spins around to try to pin the alligator, but the gator gets a 2-point takedown as he bites the man's leg. So where did it all go wrong? 1. Alligators can see what's directly in front of them, so many decide when wrestling them to put their hands under the chins and push the gator back. However, this puts you dangerously close to the alligator's jaws, and I think this maneuver is unnecessary. This is actually what put Lindsay Bull into the situation where Darth Gator bit her in that viral video. 2. Alligators work in circles and have what I'd call a bite radius. Alligators are known to whip their heads and tails in a circular motion when they get defensive. When working with all crocodilians, you must always imagine a circle around the animal and stay away from it. When he stepped off to the side, he was now in the gator's range of vision, so it swung its head and bit his leg. 3. When jumping or pinning an alligator down, there can be no hesitation. You have to commit. What he did wrong was as he was coming around, he briefly paused. If he hadn't paused, he could have possibly gone on top of the alligator with no harm, but instead, that short pause in his movement allowed enough time for the alligator to bite him. So how can my guy get a 1-point escape out of this? Well, the first thing to do, which it seems like he did, was let his leg follow the alligator's head. Don't pull or push against the alligator if it's thrashing. This will lead to a worse injury. If the alligator death rolls, roll with it. Staying still or going against the roll will most likely lead to the loss of that limb. How do you fight back? There's a few things you can do. You're going to want to hit the alligator's nose as hard as humanly possible. There's little dots in the alligator's jaws called ISOs, which are pressure receptors used when the alligator hunts in water. These are very sensitive and the alligator will feel you punching its snout. Still, the alligator is going to be determined to hold on and will not let go easily. Give it everything when you're punching. Another thing you can do is jab the alligator in the eyes. When sticking your finger or whatever into the gator's eyes, you're going to want to dig deep. Alligator eyes, as a defense mechanism, actually recede into the socket when pressed down on. Therefore, you'll really have to push down as far as possible if you want to do serious damage. If you're successful in hurting the alligator's eyes, it will most likely let go. If for some reason this attack took place in the water and his hand was in the alligator's jaws, pushing down on the tongue could work. In the back of an alligator's tongue is something called a palatal valve. This is a seal that cuts off water from getting into the alligator's throat while hunting in water. If you push down on the alligator's tongue hard enough, water could potentially rush down into the alligator's throat and lungs, which the alligator isn't going to like. To summarize, fight like your life depends on it. Once you've literally escaped the jaws of death, take off for the hills and call for help. This shouldn't even be said, but please do not mess with alligators. Harassing alligators is illegal, and being dumb may get yourself seriously injured or killed. If you have a legitimate alligator emergency, call someone to take care of it. Simple as that. To learn more about the animals you just saw, buy my book, What We Get Wrong About Crocodilians. It examines claims of giant crocodiles, a World War II massacre, their regenerating tails, alligators in sewers, their record land speeds, and more. The book looks at a variety of subjects many people, including experts, get wrong about these animals, and I desperately wanted to dispel the myths that have persisted so long. Buy What We Get Wrong About Crocodilians in physical or digital formats. Link in bio, comments, or description to buy.